Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was, but today and throughout the week, it's hard to say. I really don't pay attention to the weather people, but you can't help. People are going to tell you, hey, isn't it a beautiful day? Yeah, well, it's going to rain tomorrow. Thank you. That's how I find out what the weather is going to be like tomorrow, is when I say, isn't it beautiful today? Here we had like 3 days in a row of cooler weather where you really couldn't get out and get the sun. And we get one day of a beautiful day and they just want to go back downhill, and not that weather, it's just that we need all this kind of weather. So anyway, for all those people that, always thinks got to say something negative when somebody's always trying to be positive and raise the vibration, somebody's out there pulling it down, lowering the frequency instead of raising it up with you. So anyway, that's just a little bit of a freebie out there for those of you that are like that, or you might know somebody, you might like, oh my, that sounds like somebody I know. So besides that, I hope you are getting out in the weather, I'm out in nature and out here today. It's a sprinkly day and a little cool today, so this is a great time for Starlight to balance herself, get to do things inside the library. And anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Sorry, I think I'm a little off here. And besides that, now I'm like a little off here. Something's a little funny here. I'm a Virgo. I can't help this. So anyway, so welcome to my YouTube channel if you are new. And I just got a new subscriber the other day, so thank you. And thank you, all of you who watch my videos, who leave me a message, and who subscribe to my YouTube channel, or even leave me a message down below, or even share my videos. Thank you all. You are my family here. I do have family, but you are my other family out here. So like my soul tribe kind of family out here. So thank you for being here for Starlight. And anyway, besides thanking all of you and taking that few minutes to say thank you, is you could give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't be afraid, don't be shy, swing by and say hi to Starlight, and you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. I don't have my bell. Starlight, did you forget? Yeah, I forgot my bell. So anyway, don't forget the notification bell, ding, ding, ding. And you can also share my videos with your family, your friends. And I am going to say, let's see, a deer and a horse, of course. Plus, besides sharing my videos with your family or friends, you could share it with a horse and a deer. And you can also check out my playlist. Some of you are checking out my playlist, so thank you for checking out my playlist, because you don't know what Starlight was, talking about before when she started, or even throughout this journey. And also, oh yeah, I got a little thing that I just thought of. And also, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook and as Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. I just remembered this because I got a pop-up on my phone the other day. I didn't realize this. This is my second year of being a YouTuber. So, and my way of being a YouTuber is much more complicated than most out there, because Starlight's living in a car. And that's rough. Ruff, 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 ruff. Like a dog, rough. It is rough. Living in your car, trying to do all this. I can't put everything on my phone, the apps. So that's why with YouTube, like Facebook and Instagram, I always have to go in the library to do that, because, the space on my phone, there's things I want to have on my phone, but I had to take it off because of the space. So it is very complicated. So those of you that have been there, at least I know there's one person that has been on my YouTube channel from day one all the way to now. So thank you for being here and loving and supporting Starlight. So now today is going to be, we all go through this, every single one of us. This is stuff that you could have gone through as a child growing up, and no matter what age you are, we all go through this at one time or another, or many, many, many times in our life. So this is for everyone. You know, children, teenagers, young adults, middle age, like Starlight. And then, there's maturity in all levels of ages, so it doesn't really matter the age. But, there's folks that are, in their 50s and 60s, or, even older, younger, yeah, right? Younger. So, anyway, for this video this is about people that feel alone. Do you ever get like that? You feel alone. You feel like you're by yourself. And, some of you, yes, Starlight, I do feel alone. That's why I'm trying to get this man out here. But I find out, that they're wearing a mask. I just, they're wearing a mask. I don't really know who they are. They're wearing this mask, and, where I find out what they're like, and I don't want nothing to do with them. Good for you. Don't settle for anything less. So that is so important, is to take that time to get to know someone. But now some of you out there might have missed this in so many videos that I already put out. You gotta first do the work on yourself. You can still look out there, but don't forget about looking inside. I wish I had a heart right here. And your heart space, is you need to get healed. And that's why you're having a hard time finding the one. The universe blessed me with the one. The universe guided me to the one for years now. But we, we're working on each other. We're working and helping each other to get healed, and it's tough, especially a twin flame relationship. That is the toughest kind of relationship, because it could be very tense. It could, be very loving. It is like the love, the highest level of unconditional love. The more with your twin flame, the more you work on yourself, the stronger that connection is with your twin flame. So it is the most beautifulest kind of relationship, but when it's tense, it's tense. It can get, scary for both twin flames, because they're going to mirror each other. They're going to show each other what each other needs to work on to let go and to get healed from past traumas, and there's a list of stuff that we all have to work on inside of us in order for God to bless us. When we do the inner work inside of us, that's when the universe, God, is going to, you say, oh, you know what? I see that you're really serious about working on yourself. And I see, look at all this stuff that you've been doing, Starlight. Yeah, believe me. I've sacrificed so many things. I've let go of so many things. I've been working on myself. I've been, focused on, my desires and working on myself. And my twin flame will tell me, a lot of times, is to work on yourself. A twin is not, a real twin flame is not going to want you to chase them. They're going to really, they could want you to chase them, but really there's the runner and the chaser, but they really are going to want you to work on yourself and deal with your shadow sides. And it's like, then you'll be able to see clearer on really the one that God, and you'd be amazed when you do find out that one. But so those of you out there that are lonely because you're single, this is a great time right now is don't be so busy of like when a guy comes in your life, is that the one? Is that the one? You will know when it's the one. It will knock you right off your chair like it did with Starlight. I mean, Starlight actually years ago, when I discovered the one, I literally slid off. I'm trying to think of some kind of vegetable or fruit. I'm just trying to figure out like a visual that I'm getting of sliding off of my couch in my living room, as I was like staring at my beautiful twin flame. It just like, I didn't even know that I was falling in love with my twin flame until it, but it's because I was doing some serious ass work inside my heart space and, having the dark night of the soul, and it wasn't pretty in those days. So if you're looking for love in all the wrong places, that's what's going to happen, because you got to do the work and you keep on working, focus more on yourself, forget about looking out there outside of you, because it's inside, and sometimes in life, including Starlight, sometimes, this happens to all of us at certain times. The universe could give you a message over and over again, boing, 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 and it just bounces off. We don't hear it. We hear it, but we're not really doing anything with it. We're like, I hear that message. There she goes again, saying the same message. And that's why I repeat shit over and over again, because that's exactly how the Matrix has done everything to us to program us the way we are, is by repeating it over and over again. That's why even in movies, they will have a picture or something on a movie, and behind the picture, they will have something behind the picture that you don't even know nothing about. And you might like, with putting like a person smoking a cigarette, where, it will cause you to want to smoke cigarettes. Or like the news, they repeat negative stuff over and over again, like with COVID when that came out, or weather, or bad stuff, they repeat it over and over again. And on the news, I can't stand watching the news. Like I don't know if they have these kind of channels out there, but long time ago at an old friend of mine's house, he was really into the news, and it was tearing me apart. I was just like, can I go somewhere? Can I hide somewhere? I need to get out of here. I can't, and because they play the news and they replay, they just kept on repeating the same stuff over and over again, and that's how they get people in that fear frequency. So you've got to be careful about that, is, letting fear control you. And that's why I am repeating a lot of things that I say in a lot of videos. That's to help you out, to reprogram yourself in a positive way, not to lower your frequency, but to raise it up so you believe in yourself. So anyway, if you're feeling alone, besides single people that are out there searching outside of themselves when you should be searching inside, is that we are never alone. We are never alone. I have a fan out here. We are never alone, in life, so there's definitely going to be times that you feel alone. And, I have definitely felt alone many times on this journey. I'm living in my car by myself, my family. I left my family in New York. Now I'm all the way in California. Do you think I get days that I feel alone? Absolutely. But I'm not alone. And I just heard a beautiful message yesterday, and I'm like, I love it. So, and there, before I even say that, that message there is, there are people that could be in a family, could have a big ass family, could be married, could have kids. And guess what? Would you believe? Married couples can feel alone because they're not with the right one. They're not with the right one. Because if they were with the right one, they would not be feeling alone. And it's not about really relying on that person. That's why we need to do the inner work inside of us. It's not for other people to make us complete. We have to be the one to complete ourselves. We have to be the one to give ourselves self-love. We have to be the ones to cheer us on, because you're going to find out in this life, nobody might be cheering you on. So you have to be your own cheerleader, so that's why it's so important to watch videos that will lift you up, make you feel good, make you feel like sunshine, instead of watching things that are going to waste your time and energy and lower your energy, like watching those talk shows. Starlight used to watch that stuff, or I used to watch I watched a lot of depressing stuff, and then one day, damn, I snapped out of it. I'm like, why am I feeling like crap? Why do I feel like ending my life? Why am I feeling miserable? Why am I, why is it that, like the past was always in my face, I was trying to let go of that shit, but, watching these shows and listening, it just was bringing it all back, and there's some people that are addicted to those shows, talk shows, but it has a way of triggering people, and then it brings stuff back into their life, and then they're sad and they're depressed. It might not happen that day. They might have gotten uplifted that day because they helped this person out. But now they've been sitting, for an hour listening about, like horrible stuff on these talk shows. And now they're affected in a negative way after, and that could actually mess that person up so bad. It could end up, that person could end up in a hospital because it just spiraled. It was, because a lot of things, when you have a trigger, it could actually trigger something else, and then trigger something else, and then trigger and trigger and trigger. And then now you were up here, and now you find yourself going all the way down, and feeling really low. And now you're feeling really lonely. You're feeling like, nobody's out there. And we all go through this, all through our life. I felt alone when I was a kid. Starlight, when she, I'm still the same this day on some things the way I was as a kid, because that's why it's so important that you work on yourself to heal your traumas from your past, and so you got to be the one that loves yourself so much unconditionally, because even if you're in a relationship, that person's got their own shit that they got to deal with. They can't be there all the time, even if you're in a beautiful relationship, to be there for you, because they could be dealing with their own stuff. So that's why it's so important that you work on yourself and love yourself and get out in nature as much as possible. And, and this is the story I was going to tell you earlier, is I heard a beautiful story. Now, I didn't really know too much about this, but I always had my own beliefs, like through life, thinking, about the animals, and, my connection. I have been in great connection with animals. I've had people, I was trying to help a wild coyote that was out in the streets not too long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. And I had meat with me in my car. It was kind of weird how this happened. And I was actually driving to a hiking place, and God did this, I was only in that area because I just picked up food from a food pantry, and I was like, hey, I got some meat. I want to go and visit my coyote friends. But as I was going to head there, I don't know where my GPS is, is going to take me. There was a coyote that was in the street. And I'm like, and the hair was all horrible looking, it looked like a really, that coyote, was hungry and it needed some food. And some people could be really, really vicious, and really mean, and, or in the fear frequency, here they're in the car and they're, yelling out their window and going by, going slow. Some people were really jerks. They wanted to run the coyote off the street, and being mean. And they, the coyote was just trying to get to Starlight because we had a connection there, like I just wanted to feed that coyote, and I wasn't afraid. That coyote knows that I'm not afraid of it. They sense people, they know energy, they know the sense of you and all that. They can pick up your scent. And a man came by on that street and yelled out the window, hey, you better watch out that coyote could have rabies or something. I've been hanging out with the coyotes on another trail. People walk by these coyotes all the time. The coyotes aren't bothering them, and I'm not saying that they couldn't, but if they fear that you're afraid, no, that could be a different story. If like in like a self-defense thing, like, they can feel that energy from you, and they might feel like, threatened by you, and then they might actually do something. That is definitely possible. But, don't ever feel like you're alone, because, like, I am never alone. On my darkest days, on my days that I am not feeling loved, and that's why you got to love yourself. There's days that you're not going to feel loved by anybody. That's why it's so important to work on you more, so when you do get those days, and when they do come, is to get out in nature or get around animals. And so I just heard a beautiful message, and I just wrote to somebody this morning, is, you got ancestors and spirit guides out in this, in the spirit realm, and I always knew something, but I didn't know the answers. I always wondered about different things, and I believed in different things, even though at the church that I went to, they would not want to even talk about that stuff, but I do believe that with animals. I've had a crow a long time ago that saved my life. I had a stalker I didn't even know that he was there. I was always feeding the crows at this park, and they knew that I was always going at that park. And you couldn't see the crows, but I could hear them, and their tone was different that day. And I was wearing flip-flops and a headset in one ear, and the other, so I can hear. That way, if a car comes on the road, I can hear. And I had an air set here, and I was dancing with flip-flops. Starlight practiced running fast with flip-flops just in case I needed to. And believe me, if I need to run, I'm taking those flip-flops off, and I am booking. And I have practiced doing that too, is running barefoot. It's great to do that if you don't have proper shoe wear, is to practice running around, feel that on your feet. I believe me, Starlight's got, I believe, definitely Indian. My grandfather was a Indian. So anyway, with crows, there was a guy that parked, I seen a van, I could hear it, and I seen it, far away, a distance, more than, it was like 50 feet or even further than that away from where I was. And I had no clue, but those crows were watching over me. Those spirit guides were watching over me, so it's like an ancestor in those crows somehow or another. And it's amazing. Those crows, I have been working with the crows my whole life, because I was brought up with crows, and it gave a sound that said, Starlight, what is up with that? That was not my regular sound that the crows would say, communicate with Starlight. And it caused me to stop and turn around, and I had a man that has been stalking me in that park, at that same park, but I refused to, stop going in that park, because I love that park. I wasn't going to run away, but I was going to run away at this point, because he was dead behind me. There was no freaking way that he could have walked behind me. I was already, that far ahead. But those crows saved my life. And talk about running I ran so freaking fast through that park, and it was amazing, because I did a lot of landscaping work out there, raking leaves and clearing up the trails, which was great, where I'm like running as fast as I could for my dear life to get up on top of the hill where the park is and the bathroom was, and there was a camera right there, where the bathrooms were, and there was a bench. So I ran up there and sat right in that bench, right where the camera was, facing. And that man he came up behind me, and he sat like at a distance, waiting for me. So definitely, you're not alone. You got, there's animals out there. It could be your ancestors or somebody watching over you, or, like even, it's amazing. But when I feel alone, when I go out in nature, the crows, you know, they did that this morning. I woke up this morning, didn't hear any birds. First thing, I opened up the car door to get out to start my day. I'm like, ah, you know, that just, you know, I'm like, look at that. They make me feel so good. And so you're never alone. You know, you do have people out there that are watching over you. And I do have people that I lost, you know, out in this world. And, you know, so their energy never dies. They, you know, even though that's why you got to be really cautious of what you believe when it comes to going to church and what they say. And that's how they deceived me from the beginning, is acting like I was going to burn in the lake of fire. And I'm thinking, really, I'm going to, you know, and I believed it. So that's how I ended up, you know, repenting and asking Jesus, you know, all this stuff, to ask Jesus in my heart to forgive me of all my wicked deeds and all this. And I'm thinking, and I found out later, and, you know, as I was going through my life and on my journey, it's like, that's a state of mind. You can make your life a living hell, you know, on the choices that you make. And if you're not working on yourself, and if you're out there doing, you know, all this stuff that's not really helping other people out, and you're all, you know, all about yourself, and you're not, you know, thoughtful about other people, and you don't have a relationship with God, oh yeah, shit could freaking happen. And even those out there that have God, they're going to be tested to really what their relationship is with God. So you're the one that is creating your own reality, you know. So, and there's times that you might be going through a lot of shit. Have you learned the lessons that you're supposed to learn so you can break free from that? Are you working on yourself? You know, you got to ask, are you working on yourself, or are you getting distracted? So you are never alone, even if your family abandoned you, or you had to leave your family, or your friends. What friends, right? I have one. You know, I am my greatest friend, my best friend, but I have a super duper friend out there that has been there from day one, and that is a true friend. So you're never alone, and if you feel alone, really, you got to give yourself a hug. That means you really need to work on yourself and love yourself. And there's things that is inside of you, like you would not believe how this stuff is inside of our being, you know. And a lot of times, if your chakras are not cleared and you don't open up, you know, you don't do meditations, a lot of that, you know, that's why things are, you're not functioning the way you would if you worked on meditations. And a lot of people think meditations phony baloney, or they don't believe in it. They don't understand. They lack understanding, and so they never do it because they're like, you know, like, you know what? I was told, don't knock anything unless you try it. You know, like if I had a healthy dish of food, and you looked at it and it looks gross, and it's healthy though for you, and you're like, I don't want it. Well, how do you, you know, I won't like it. How do you know? You know, just like with meditations, how do you know until you try? And it means when you try, you know, like when you try to do it, it takes time. So that means you need to learn to be patient. You know, it's so important. And getting out in nature, spend some time with some animal friends, because, you know, they will help you make your day. And, you know, and if you're afraid of animals, that's another thing that you got to work on, is to, you know, fear is just, you created that in your own head. Sometimes things happen to us when we're kids, you know, or even adults. You know, it's just like people, you know, if I just said, oh, I got hurt by a human being, that's it. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm gonna put myself in a box. Well, how about all the other people, you know? So it's the same thing. Don't put yourself in a box. Work on yourself. Get out in nature, really. Get out and find a nature trail somewhere, or a park if you're, you know, you gotta let love guide you, not fear. And that came from my mentor. That's where I get that from, is really let love guide you, not fear. Is you gotta, that's part of the healing thing. That means you gotta get healed. But I'm already healed. I bet you, you know, you spend some time with Starlight, I'll show you where you're not. So anyway, I love you so much. And I hope you have an amazing day, and be there for the ones that are being real with you and that have your back and not with a knife, you know. Be there for those out there that appreciate you and that are loving and supporting you. And the ones out there that are not loving and supporting you, that are just using you and hugging up all your time and your energy, that are sucking your life out of you, those are the ones you're going to want to let go. But I can't make you do nothing. You got to decide that on your own. You know, and some people, that's what they do. They're lonely, and then they take on energy and they take on people that is not good for their greater good. So anyway, I love you. This is Starlight. Namaste. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I have a fan out in my window here. Before I let you go, you can give this video a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, swing by. Don't be afraid, don't be shy. Swing by and say hi to Starlight by leaving me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. Plus, I don't have my bell, but don't forget the notification bell. Bing, ding, ding, because I don't want you to miss any videos. You can leave me a message down below. I don't know, Starlight's all out here. Beep, beep, beep. And you could share my videos with your family, friends. Let's see, I'm going to say a coyote, and I'm going to say my crows. I have a connection with the crows. There might be an animal out there that you always feel connected to. It might be your pet dog, you know, it might be an ancestor that, you know, is helping you out and, you know, keeping you company. So, or it could even be a person that comes along and, you know, I've had this happen many times. I've had angels helping my ass out before. So I definitely believe in spirit guides and all that stuff. So anyway, I love you so much. Ooh, Starlight's got an itch. And so really, you're never alone. And that's just, you know, you think you're alone, but no, you're not. There's many people out there that would love to connect with you. I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.